logo in the NFL and the right-facing bird logo. I misunderstood what he was talking about. It's true that in 2D representation of each team, the Ravens versus the Eagles, there's a head of a bird. The Eagles' alt logo, not on their helmet, the wings, is a eagle, and it always faces left. And the Ravens logo is always facing right. I was thinking too much helmet orientation. You are correct. Now, why would that make you pick one team versus the other? That's what I want to know.
It didn't. These are the things that you pick up when you work in sports over the years. You're around a group of people that love sports a lot, and they will mention the small things like that. And you're like, wait. The Eagles are really the only team that face left?
Interesting. Huh? Okay.
And then you start looking, you're like, really? They really are. And that's for animals, mammals, humans, all logos. Everyone seems to face right, except the Eagles. When the American flag is represented on the uniform, it should always fly as if the wind is blowing it. So in other words, if it's on the right shoulder, it needs to be represented backwards because you're flying if you're moving forward. Okay. Anyway, sure. Also, I said Chris Sale the other day or the other hour about signing with the Dodgers. It's Blake Snell. Chris Sale was the psycho who cut up the alt jerseys for the White Sox one time in the locker room so he wouldn't have to wear them because he didn't like how they fit. He literally went Edward Scissorhands and scuttled the whole thing. Lunatic. But when you can pitch like he can, then you will, get leeway on that. Both good pitchers, but different guys. Their mistakes cleaned up. Let's go ahead and cue our guest's music. The great Jeff Levering joins us now, live from his hotel room. Where?
Fort Myers, Florida.
Fort Myers, Florida,
yeah,
for the Fort Myers tip-off, which the Badgers were in last year or
last year, yes. Last year and won.
And now you're down there to call the games. Jeff, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, guys. I am doing great. It is sunny, 75 degrees in Florida. It's a great day to have some hoops inside.
Well, you're going to have some outside time today, but you get a good run in, go outside and soak it in, right?
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm going after we finish our phone call. I'm going to just put on the shoes and get going.
I love it. Good stuff. So tonight, the game you're calling involves who?
I've got two games. We have the consolation bracket. Both. Yeah, both games. We got Virginia Tech, South Carolina. That is the first one, and then Xavier, Michigan for the nightcap.
Who was the first team? Who was the first team? Xavier?
No.
Say
Virginia Tech, South Carolina.
No, first team you mentioned in the championship game. Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier, Michigan.
I'm glad that you're calling Xavier tonight because I want to play this for everyone. It's pretty funny. You know John Fanta, right?
Oh, I know Fanta. Gosh, what a great clip.
John Fanta. Did you like my description, Butchie, of him being a combination of the late John Candy and Josh Gad?
I did. I thought of
Gad with the glasses, John Candy with the amiable, but sometimes if you push him too far, he's going to respond. Midwest demeanor.
Yeah, I got Fanta with a little Farley in him too.
Yes.
A little Farley.
Yes.
A little Farley as well. John is the most mild-mannered but passionate college basketball fan, as well as all sports fan, obviously. And he got pushed to the brink in a Twitter Spaces broadcast. What is this thing he was in?
It's the thing.
Yeah, it's basically a call-in radio show on Twitter X, essentially, where you can go live and then people can chime in and you can click on them and they can basically, caller, where are you?
Interesting. And so this is to attract likes and follows and gain that all so precious digital currency that everyone is thirsty for.
Yes.
No money involved, right? They don't pay you for this, right? You can't monetize this. It's not a podcast per se, but it's a more informal type of thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it's more just a forum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is this guy, Adam Cooper, that got under Fanta's skin? Is he a fan?
Just a fan. Somebody on the X world, Zabe. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's how the transaction went down with Cincinnati, I guess, is currently ranked ahead of Xavier.
According to John's poll, yes. This is all John's poll. This is not the AP
and this
poll.
is right.
This is all John's
and this is the
stuff
first
that he pushes out.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that in a while that Cincinnati appears to have the stronger of the two basketball teams. Is that fair?
It's been a while, yes.
Been a while. And Butch and I chronicled just how hot this rivalry runs in Ohio.
Have you been on the call for one of these yet, Jeff?
I have not had the Crosstown Showdown, but I know it gets spicy.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so here was how it went down.
Adam, go. Hey, John, thanks. Just following up on the Crosstown shootout. How bad did it hurt to finally rank Cincinnati ahead of your buddy Sean Miller this week?
Your buddy Sean, he's poking the bear right there.
Didn't hurt me one bit, Adam. I do my job. Cincinnati's better than Xavier now. You've had Xavier ranked ahead of him all season until this week. I figured it had to hurt. I know your buddies with Sean. I mean, I got a job to do, Adam. So, Adam, you call me up here, and you want to tell me it must hurt me to rank somebody over somebody else? I've seen the media bias in Xavier's favor for the last several years. Yeah, they've been a better program.
Here we go.
Cincinnati's butt.
Here we go.
They've been a better program by a wide margin. Frankly, Cincinnati, we've been waiting for this version of Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been their butts have been kicked. You're using the past couple of years. No. You're using the past couple of years.
Get him.
That's your argument?
Get him.
Xavier's been better than Cincinnati in every facet. There's a media bias. I go off score. The scores of the game were Xavier over Cincinnati. Want to tell me about how I feel about stuff. I don't lose sleep over where I rank a team. I lose sleep over whether I took the trash out on time, whether I picked up the right groceries for my wife, if I'm taking care of her right now, and the Cleveland Browns. I didn't lose any sleep over them, Adam, but I might lose sleep because of you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Now the caller tries to save it with their shared love of the woeful Browns, and Fanta was not having
Happy
it.
Thanksgiving, Johnny. Go Browns. No, you don't get to salvage the call. Kyle, go ahead.
You don't get to salvage the call.
You don't get to say
we're not friends. I don't care that we're both Browns fans. We're not friends.
You don't get to salvage it.
I appreciate him so much. And the fact that he did all of that language free, right?
Yes.
Because if you escalate like that, your heart rate's going to go up. You're going to start cursing. You're going to say some things that you don't want to say. He was so, I don't want to say calm because he wasn't calm, but my goodness, was that a wonderful escalation. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I go by sport.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic right there. Yes. I just love it, though. I love the passion levering of sports fans all over this country in different pockets and areas and rivalries and just calling somebody up to get under their skin because I guess they perceive to be a bias that's going on. Mm-hmm. Now, Fanta didn't go to Xavier, did he?
No.
Yes, yep.
So is he a friend of Sean Miller or just a professional guy that talks to Miller?
Sean jumped on this field of 68 that they do when he was let go by Arizona.
And
I think that's where friendships start. Yeah,
he's been calling Big East games for a long time too. So Fanta has. So he goes to media day. He's big in the Big East. So that's probably where the conversation also escalates.
God, that is so funny. And you don't get to save the call. He didn't want him to have the last word. You don't get to save the call. Just stuffed him into a trash can and took him out on time. That's
Speaking
one
of
the
taking
things
out the
to worry
trash,
about.
That's what he loses sleep over. Taking out the trash, taking care of his wife.
Making sure he's got the right kind of yogurt for his wife. I know I stress over that. Wait, is it the Greek one? Wait, what flavors? They don't have the flavors you're talking about. Are you sure? What brand is this?
Yeah.
Never is.
That is very stressful. That's for sure very stressful.
Okay, let's talk about the first big papow of the hot stove league, Mr. Levering, and that is Blake Snell getting a deal with the Dodgers, 5 for $185. It's a lot of money. Seems though that the top end for pitchers has leveled off a bit. If he's only getting $32 million a year or thereabouts,
I'd say it's a pretty good deal. I mean, that's $1 million a start essentially if he makes all of his starts over the course of the year. frankly, I was a little surprised he didn't get the offers like this last year. He was in free agency, ended up getting the 1-year deal, had an option on it with the Giants. He declined the option. So now he's fully healthy. He has a great season last year when he was healthy. The Dodgers go and pick him up. The Dodgers just are loading up. Think about their rotation last year. They weren't even healthy, right? So now you're going to get Ohtani
no Shohei.
Now you're going to get Snell added to that. Glasnow's going to be healthy again. I mean,
so his agent, you say what happened last year. He's a Boris guy, right?
Yeah.
Did Boris overplay his hand finally on this one and run him into a dead end?
He had overplayed his hand on a number of guys. I mean, look at Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery ends up signing late and then dropped Boris. There were a couple of pitchers that signed really late with Scott Boris. It's more of a listen. Just the pitchers are not going to get those contracts, especially the long-term ones anymore. 5 years is about your max. I don't see a pitcher signing for any more than 5 years ever again, just because they're so volatile with their injury histories. A 3 to 5 year deal is what your frontline starters are going to get these days. You're not going to see anything more than that.
Is the Boris era of dominance of the winter cycle over, or is he still quite powerful?
I think he's still got Soto.
I was just going to say, when does Juan Soto? There was a big announcement by Juan Soto yesterday. It was that he was had a nice Celsius contract, so good for him because he needs more. He needs more money. But it was kind of creative. When does he go off the board? I mean, when does this decision come for him?
I mean, depending on the rumors that you look at, it could be coming pretty soon. I mean, he's essentially got offers in hand from 5 different teams, is what it sounds like. And even after the Dodgers sign Blake Snell, they're still in it for Soto with all this deferred money that they're throwing out there. I mean, they're going to be paying guys until 2100 or 2100. It's not 2100.
This is absurd.
I saw one clip on Twitter that said contracts listed the 5 teams that had contracts out there, and then it was Dodgers deferred till after death. Like it was
Yeah, it's pretty good. And the Red Sox offered 1 year, $1 million.
Yeah. Who are the 5 teams legitimately in the running?
Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, and they threw the Blue Jays on there because the Blue Jays have a ton of money.
Where would be the best fit? They would all fit for a guy of his talent, right?
I mean, probably. He would fit in Boston. He would fit in Boston. I think return to the Yankees would make sense. The Mets make sense.
Right. If you were Juan Soto, Jeff Levering, former glorious junior college baseball player of your own skill level, and you were in this spot, who would you play for of those 5 teams?
I would probably stay in New York, be my guess.
Okay.
If I was him.
The Yankees or the Mets?
I'm guessing the Mets are going to open up that pocketbook more.
But organizationally, who do you trust? You got to trust the Yankees more, as imperfect as they can be at times.
I don't know. Feels like the Mets have a pretty good thing going on right now. You got Stearns there. I think Stearns is doing a pretty good job. He's cleaning some things up. They look pretty good at the end of the year.
Okay. And would you have Boris as your agent if you were playing?
I think I'd go in a different direction there.
You would.
I would.
Okay. That's interesting. Butchie, would you have Boris as your client if you're a baseball player? He has gotten top dollar for his guys. Yeah. But he's really starting to break his stick on a lot of these deals. He almost broke it on Harper when Harper was out there way too long, and then he made him sign a 13-year deal in Philly. It's working out, obviously, and he says he loves Philly. So
I'd probably do somebody else. Sometimes at some point, freshness is a good thing because I think my biggest thing is I think he wore so many of these guys out that they're just like, whatever. Like, I don't want to deal with you. We're not like, yes, you have the best player. I get it, but we're going to now string you out. We're going to make this difficult because you've made our lives difficult for as long as you have. Like, I think there's some of that. Jeff, what football game you got this weekend?
I got Penn State, Maryland on Saturday.
Okay.
So I started in Lincoln, Fort Myers State College, and then I get to go home. And then I get to work with you, Butchie, on Tuesday next week.
Oh, it's going to be epic. Tuesday, Indiana versus
Sam Houston.
Sam Houston. So 2 games tonight, then Thanksgiving alone in Fort Myers?
And I have South Carolina, Iowa State women on Thursday.
Where?
The big loss in Fort Myers. He's got
In
another
Fort
Fort
Myers.
Myers.
So 2 men's games tonight, a women's game tomorrow.
On
away
Big
from
Fox,
your lovely
by the way.
family
Big
on
Fox.
Thanksgiving. Friday
Friday is a travel day to State College.
State College.
Penn
Saturday, Penn State, Maryland. Sunday, home to the family.
Yes. Oh, actually,
Safe-
Saturday night. There's
Saturday night.
I get to go home.
All right. Well, safe
Yeah.
travels, and I know your
Thanks.
family misses you. I know it's tough for you on the road and everyone else, but you're a pro's pro, my friend, and call a bunch of great games and go get that run in the 75-degree weather, all right?
You got it. My family's enjoying themselves in Maui right now. They're really not missing me too much. They're doing fine.
Oh, well then, hold on. I retract everything I said. All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Likewise,
Happy
guys.
Thanksgiving, Jeff.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
All right. Gobble, gobble indeed. Coming up, Wayne Larrivee. quietly. I want to bring up a point here with you, Butchie. Got him, Wayne? You got us?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing very good. So, Luddy came up with the interesting stat that the Packers had not beaten the Dolphins for 8 tries when they first started playing each other. Finally broke through in 97. And now they made it Lambeau Field for the first time since when, Wayne? When was the last time the Fish have been up north here?
I want to say 2010, and the Fish beat the Super Bowl-bound Packers by a field goal.
Interesting, yes. You know, there's a lot of parallels. I'm sure you've seen them as well for this year's season to 2010.
Parallels?
Have you seen some of the – yeah, people have been piecing together like, hey – look at this. This lines up. Look at that. That lines up.
Huh.
I'll find them for you here in a second, but they're kind of interesting if you believe in that stuff. I think there's so many things you could cherry pick from the universe of, hey, we played this team and lost, and that was the same as when we last won the Super Bowl. But more importantly, what's interesting about the team right now is they are an undeniably good team that is very solid, very healthy compared to some other teams. The Niners came in completely in tatters, so knock on wood on that front. And the pundits love the Packers. Both Orlovsky and others on ESPN are just raving about the creative run game that LaFleur has. The only thing the Packers this year have not done is they haven't really had that big show-out game that gets everybody all ginned up like this is a Super Bowl team. Do you feel like they have Super Bowl qualities to them?
Yeah, I do think they have some Super Bowl qualities to them. I think part of the reason why people, the only team I hear people going gaga about is Detroit, and and now with what Saquon Barkley did the other night in Los Angeles, the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are the two hot teams. Right now that people are talking about. Kansas City has done nothing but win all but one game. They're 10-1, but people keep thinking that they're not really that good. They're kind of lucky in this, that, and the other thing. And the other team that has some Super Bowl mojo about them is Buffalo right now. So, but those teams kind of overshadow everyone else. But the Packers have good qualities. There's no doubt about that. And the thing I like about it, Czabe, is that they're getting better going down the stretch. There's more to get for this team. They're not even close to where their seeding is.
When you look at the matchup tomorrow, it's crazy because I'm always thinking Detroit, Packers, Detroit, Thanksgiving. It's just crazy to think it's Miami, but there's a lot of challenges with this Miami team. They're starting to play better. Tyreek Hill hasn't even touched what he was anticipated to be like this year. What are the biggest challenges that you look at with this game tomorrow?
I think they've got to deal with the speed. Last week was about physicality with San Francisco. This week's about speed with Miami. Speed throughout that offense. And it's not just Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle has speed. The running back, Achane, has a lot of good speed. Devon Achane is an excellent receiver, is a running back, and a home run hitter is a runner. So they've got excellent speed in this team, and that's what's going to challenge the Packers. And here's the thing that they do. Rather than going downfield the way they have in the past to these receivers who can blow the top off a defense, with Tua's situation, the quarterback, Tonga Vailoa, they're trying to make sure he gets the ball out quickly before he gets hit. Make sure that happens so that he's not in a position where he's dropping back 5, 6, 7 steps, waiting for the rush and then throwing the ball. No, he's getting the ball out quickly. These receivers are getting it on the perimeter of the offense, and then they're making plays from there. And they're very capable of doing that. So they really make you really defend every blade of grass from left to right across the field.
When with it being a Thursday game, what's the biggest challenge that this Packers team has with the quick turnaround? Now, Miami has it as well, but it seems like these Thursday games, they always have that big kind of question mark of who's going to play well, who's going to be healthy, who's going to be recovered. Like there's all that gets thrown into it. We as fans, we get lost into it because it's Thanksgiving. Great. We get to watch game Thursday night, but the players, it's a quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround. Physically, there's a factor involved. There's no doubt about that. But by Thursday, they're pretty much back to where they would be. The problem, Butchie, is that they haven't had time on the practice field to rehearse what they're going to do, to go over the game plan and rehearse it back and forth, that kind of thing. Thursday's games are sloppy in many respects because these teams haven't had a chance to practice. They've done walkthroughs, but they haven't done anything really physically. And a lot of athletes learn by doing it physically, and that's a little bit of a problem I see on these Thursday night games in general. And when I see this game coming up for the Packers here, I think the number one thing, as I just mentioned, is tackling. And what can fall through the cracks on a Thursday night? Tackling.
Yeah, they got to put guys on the ground, no question about that. How important is Jair, if he can play, to this effort against these speedy Dolphin wide receivers?
If he's 100%, he's a big piece. But if he's any less than 100%, I wouldn't put him out in a game like this.
Okay. Lucas Van Ness showed us a big pow last week, and he's been looking for one all year. That was awesome to see. Do you feel like, and do the coaches feel like, LVN is on the verge of breaking through?
Boy, you hope so. I mean, he's listen, it's not for lack of effort. Let me put it that way. That kid he's all out every day in practice,
right.
Games, whatever. But you hope he does kind of break through here, because this is where, he's got an opportunity. Preston Smith is no longer ahead of him on the depth chart. He's got a chance here to really make his stake, and I think he will.
Everyone talks about how the field at Lambeau is tricky. Weather on tomorrow night is scheduled to be cold, but no precipitation, I believe, last I checked. They're saying how it's a tricky field to get the cleats right for. Brady was talking about that a lot last week during the broadcast. With your years of experience, how would you characterize the field at Lambeau once the weather starts to turn?
Well, I think in November in the evenings, it can be kind of slick. And that goes for both ways, but the Packers are more used to it in that regard. And I think a slick field like this can kind of maybe bring that speed factor that Miami has down a level or so. And so I think it could benefit the Packers in that regard.
All right. Now, the big storyline as well is that Jordan Love is owed a turkey leg from last year.
Yeah.
He got stiffed by the broadcast by Fox last year, and that they want to make up for it. The problem is NBC does not do that turkey thing.
Oh, I know it.
They do it.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
You can't get Melissa Stark to cook a turkey and bring it to the game. What's wrong here?
Sexist. We would have Chris Collinsworth cook the turkey, but yes, we could have somebody cook the turkey, Wayne, and bring it to the game. But yeah, they do the galloping gobbler, I believe, or is that CBS? CBS does this. Phil Simms invented this trophy called the galloping gobbler, and they give that to the player of the game on Thanksgiving. Madden, of course, had the turducken, which is why it's a Fox thing. But I agree, NBC should just steal it.
Yeah.
Steal the idea. There's no copyright on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Hey, let's make Jordan Love whole again.
Yeah.
Give him that turkey leg he was owed.
Of course, I hate to bring this up, but they have to win the game. And,
they do.
That's kind of an important part we're just glossing over right there. Okay. What are your Thanksgiving Day plans with the family, Wayne? You going to eat super early before going?
No. We're basically postponing our Thanksgiving family celebration to Saturday, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
it's like flex scheduling. You're like the NFL. You're going to flex it out to Saturday.
We flexed Thanksgiving out to Saturday. Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, Wayne, have a great call tomorrow. As always, we appreciate the time, and happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Same to you guys.